Oh my God, what the fuck has happened? Seriously, loads has gone on in the past week. Sorry for not doing a vlog in the past few days. Yeah, I just haven't had a chance to. I mean, that thing called work got in the way. Somebody has pressed the switch for cycling season here, and the sunshine is out and everybody's here. Nah, that is a total exaggeration. Not everyone's here, but loads of people are here, which is really good. But since Philip Schofield's come out, that's about it really. Someone's trampoline has gone into someone else's garden. People can't fly because of, I know, delayed flights. It's all gone crazy in the UK, but not here, thankfully. Here it's been beautiful weather. I'm working on my Debenhams counter tan line. You know, when those ladies that work at Debenhams get like a full face of makeup, but don't like contour it or anything. So I'm getting that at the moment, but it's been beautiful. Sorry, yeah, like I say, sorry for not doing it for a week or so, or a week, but I'm back. I think 2 episodes a week was quite, what's the word? Yeah, quite ambitious. So I'm going to say 1 a week at least, and any more as a bonus. I'd like to sort of like aim high and, you know, try and like hit my targets. Anyway, how are you all? Hope you've all been well. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about nutrition again, only because people have asked a few more questions. The first key point that I think you need to take away with you is this hole here is way bigger than that hole down there. So whatever you put in here, be careful, because if it doesn't come out of there, it will store in here. Top tip. Okay. Oh, and also getting some really good feedback and followers as well. And got someone on, I think it was on Facebook, reckons my name is Justine Bieber. Well, haha, funny as fuck you are. I think Guile from Street Fighter, Roxette, who else was there? Flock of Seagulls, Vanilla Ice, Pink. I think they're better comparisons, mate. So, and anyway, if I was like him, I'd have way more money. But yeah, thanks for your feedback there. What else is going on? I had a question from a guy called Alex, who's got a lovely little hotel, boutique hotel near the mountains. And he was saying, do I think the season is stretching? Do I think it's getting busier early on or busier later on? Answer to that, yeah, definitely. The past 3 years since having a shop, I've certainly seen more riders coming here. Whether it's because I've been more focused on, obviously, seeing if I can increase the people coming here to the shop or for my business, but I genuinely think there are more. This week, for example, I mean, the temperatures range between sort of like average 17, 18 and into the 20s, and it's been dry and it's absolutely stunning. So more riders have been coming here, more hotels are starting to open up. Last week, or last weekend, Tolo's reopened. So those of you who've been here will know it's one of the most famous places here in Portapalenza. It's got Bradley Wiggins' bikes hanging up. It's just around the corner here. And although Tolo himself doesn't run it anymore, the brothers, the Villa brothers do. And to be honest, it's really nice. It's in the sunshine all day long. So they've got the terrace by the beach, which is really cool. That's reopened, and normally that signifies the beginning of the cycling season. So it's like the who's who of cycling will be seen there. So Tolo's is reopened, the sunshine is out. I think the clocks go forward, they spring forward next month, so it's all going on. Getting a lot more bookings here for bike hire. And a little bit about that, we've got 2019 Trecamondas. So the Trecamondas are like the lightweight carbon bikes. They're on Altegra, and they're beautiful bikes. And yeah, really good for all over the island, particularly for when you go into the mountains. So lots of people booking those, lots more people booking up their sports massages. And wanting to get on the pirate board. I've got a board up here, and people ask, what's that about? Why OQ Pirates? What does that mean? Now, the international sound of massage or physiotherapy pain sounds to me like a pirate. So you get a ranking out of 10. 1 being like only a little mini pirate, and 10 being full on, you know, eye patch, parrot on your shoulder, gar. So yeah, OQ Pirate board over there. I think Dill from Viva Velo is still near the top. He is a bit of a wuss, to be fair to him. And then we've got 0 out of 10, Sleepy Thorsten, who just doesn't flinch. I have to actually check his blood pressure, his pulse, and check he's still breathing. So yeah, it's getting busier on all fronts, which is really, really good. And I have a question. Fake tans. So I had a question. Do I know, I don't know if this is aimed at me, do I know if athletes, particularly cyclists, have a fake tan before they go away? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, I've got ginger genes. So my dad, before he became bald, was ginger. Even though he says in the black and white photos you can't tell. I go quite a nice colour. But yeah, do they? It got me questioning, do people have a fake tan before they go away? I don't know. I know a lad I used to teach who's a boxer. Shout out to Jordan Reynolds. I know he loves a sunbed, but I think that's more vanity than anything else. So I don't know. I don't know if people sunbathe in their leg warmers, so that basically when they get a short tan, that they can then, you know, even it out. So it's more of an even tan all over. But talking of tans, today I had 4 massages this evening, and one of them, the guy came in, bless him, and he had a lovely pink red raw line where his shorts were. Yeah, looked a little bit sore. It's going to be sore tomorrow, I think. But another question I want to ask you guys. So, guys, men, or very hairy women, where do you shave up to when you shave your legs? Now, I've been asking people like the last few years and trying to sort of like get a study together. But do you go for the short tan? Sorry, the short shave towards the knee? Do you go for the sort of the mid boxer short tan, or do you go for the big high pant tan? Shave tan. I've got tans on my brain. Where do you shave to, and where does it stop? I mean, I know I was saying to this guy today that around the ankle is probably the hardest bit for everybody to shave. So quite often when I'm massaging people, you know, really smooth, silky, beautiful legs, this is the lads, and then they get this hairy ankle, which is always a bit, missed a bit, mate. And also women, obviously you shave, or obviously not. I mean, I know in winter, if you don't shave, keep your legs warm a bit more. But what do you think with men having shaved legs? Do you like it? Do you think it looks good? Do you think it's sexy? Or do you think you look a bit of rough and ready and a bit of a hairier leg? Just a few questions if you can let me know. I personally, I quite like the shaved legs. They look quite cool. But when a guy's got more shaved legs than I have and mine's a bit bristly, I start to worry a bit. Anyway, what else? I have to go with notes because it's been a long day. Cav update. Quite a few of you have been asking about my cat Cav. Cav will be 8 years old in August. He's a London 2012 baby. So I got him and his brother Wiggo back on it was a teacher strike day. I didn't believe in the strike. I didn't want to go on strike, but I wasn't allowed over the picket line. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go get myself 2 kittens. So I went and bought Cav and Wiggo. He has a shaved arse now and no tail. So, I mean, how happy are you going to be if you have your arse shaved and your tail cut off? 10 stitches. Yeah, bless him. He wasn't good. He's a lot better now. He's feeling a little bit perkier, and he actually came into the shop yesterday. For those of you that follow me on social media, he had a little sit down, a little roam around, and it gave him the opportunity to get away from Indy, because Indy loves him to the point where she chases him all evening, all day. Yeah, she can't get enough of him. She loves Cav. So Cav had a nice, relaxed afternoon here. Really good inquiry or question. A friend of mine asked to compare cyclists, so to compare local cyclists, as in like Mallorcan cyclists, compared to foreign cyclists. Now, how do you spot who's who? Easy answer. Local cyclists wear everything they own until probably about mid-August. You know, when it's about 38, 40 degrees, they'll then start sort of like maybe taking down an arm warmer, possibly take their leg warmers off, but they keep their jacket on for a little while longer. But no, seriously, local riders, whether they're Mallorcan or expats that live here, all very respectful. All shout out bon dia, so hello, good morning. You know, their hands aren't super glued to their handlebars. They can raise their hand and then like move their mouth up slightly and start smiling. Whereas when you're here and it's Germans, English, British, whatever, some of them are so serious, head down along the Reeds Road like this, and they don't say anything. And they take it so seriously. And also, a lot of these riders that come here to ride, although obviously I love having riders here, it's my business, chill out a bit, guys. You know, they feel so serious and it's like it's their island. They're here because they live here. And another thing about that, you don't live here. You don't pay taxes here. you don't rent a long-term apartment here or bought a house here or all of those things. You're staying in a hotel for a week. So chill out, relax, enjoy it. Don't get so serious. They're riding along and they're like heads down and I'm on a training camp and they don't even know where they've ridden because they're going that hard and that fast and that long. So for me, local riders, really cool, have a chat. Half the time I only know a tiny amount of Spanish and a little bit of Mallorquin. I can have a little chat and I think they just think I'm very understanding and I listen a lot, which obviously those of you who know me, I probably talk the most out of everyone. So yeah, really cool to see local riders. And we've got some local legends on the island as well. A couple of ex-professional riders that live here, and hopefully I'll get them on the vlog to actually have an interview and talk to people, or talk about their experiences and their racing and what they're doing now. But yeah, I don't get it that people. I don't know if it's the same anywhere else in Calpe or any of the Canary Islands or anywhere else in the world where cycling is quite popular, but people come here and they almost want to fight other people on the road, whether it's other cyclists, car users, motorbikes, pedestrians. They get so serious and they then leave a bad reputation or bad feeling towards us cyclists. So whatever you do, guys, when you come over here, you know, just relax, enjoy it, and still obey and sort of abide by and obey the laws of the road. Because, you know, the amount of times I see people wanting to take people out on zebra crossings or don't stop at lights or go through roundabouts or try and hop over things. Yeah, look at me, you know, just chill out. You're giving everyone else a bad name, and also that's when accidents happen. And you probably got Mallorca fever. We talked about this before, where you've got to ride every single day, you don't have a rest day, and yeah, it just gets to the point where I think to myself, you're not enjoying it. You're not enjoying Mallorca for what it really is. So, you know, unless you're a professional and you're getting paid to ride your bike and you're getting paid to be on a training camp, then, you know, chill out a little bit more. You know, you're taking yourself way too seriously. And don't get me started on Strava wankers. I mean, oh my God. I remember one of the, I think it was a mechanic at the bike shop Pedal Works in Dunstable, where I used to base my business at. The mechanics used to make up segments and they would make the names quite funny, like one was called Your Mum. So he became King of Your Mum, which obviously very petty and immature, but very funny. So these guys here, they're trying to get KOMs and QOMs and blah, 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 and just relax. You know, you're not here as a pro rider, just relax a bit, just chill out, enjoy it, have your beer at Tolo's after, have your ice cream, have, like, Big Pete messaged me, he has his 3 scoops of pistachio ice cream at 19.19, and why wouldn't you? It's amazing, although I do prefer the dolce leche there, it's mega. Yeah, so that's that. What else? Question about trousers. I think in fact I've still got the same trousers on, I have washed them, but my women's kind of issue here, trousers and cyclists, how do you get a pair to fit? Right, my thighs are pretty massive, but my waist is tiny. How do you, unless you're going to have like Simon Cowell pants that are going to be right up here with a huge great big belt on, how do you get trousers to fit? And the answer to that, leggings, my friend, leggings. Leggings are a godsend. I'm not sure if blokes can rock them, other than obviously Handsome Dan. He loves a pair of leggings. But apparently they're called something else, more manly. I don't know what more manly than leggings can be. But yeah, anyone else have that problem? Where you just kind of like put them on and try and pull them up past the thigh, not leggings, trousers, and then actually get them to fit properly on the waist. Yeah, the amount of times I've wrestled myself in a changing room, it's pretty tricky. I heard of someone who made jeans specifically for cyclists, but I can't remember for the life of it who it is or where they sell them. But sounds like a good idea to me. Anything else? Yeah, it's always an us v them kind of thing here, and people always think I'm from somewhere else. They don't think I'm English or British. I'm Swedish, I'm German, I'm Dutch, I'm Australian, and sometimes I just go, yeah, I agree to all of that. But represent your country if you're here and be proud, and don't make yourself look like a knob so that you basically tar the brush, tar the whole nation with the same brush. So be respectful, like I say hello, be nice, be happy. Moving on then, someone asked me about my time when I worked in professional football. I worked as a physiotherapist alongside another amazing physio, Harry, for 3 years there. And they asked about the nutrition of it. Like, was it strict? I mean, like at the moment, I don't know if it's prevalent to you guys, but I see it on social media that cyclists, they have their off season, and then obviously coming into the season, and as the season goes on, they seem to get skinnier and skinnier, and there must be so many eating disorders and eating problems, and there's that like really fine line between being very healthy and almost on the edge of becoming very ill. So someone asked me, is it the same in football? And in football, it's a lot different in some ways, because these footballers, they're at the training ground every single day. They have a chef come in and they're paid a great deal of money. So whereas cyclists, there's, I guess, only the creme de la creme get paid a lot of money. I mean, I know it's similar in football, but it's kind of similar but different. I know it probably sounds a load of bullshit, but in football, we used to get a chef come in every morning to bring food for lunch, and the youth players, the YTS boys, would get the breakfast things out, so all your regular cereals and toast and what have you. And then at lunchtime, after the first training session of the day, excuse me, I think it was a fig roll burp. After the morning session, you'd have your lunch, and so chef would come in and he'd prepare all the food. And yeah, it was quite a tough one being a member of staff, because you wanted to eat what the players ate, but you didn't do the exercise the players did. So, you know, you might become a really fat member of staff, so you've got to be very careful. But yeah, chef would prepare really cool food, like normally your key groups, your proteins, your carbohydrates and your fats, and he'd try and encourage to eat a variety as well. So every day they were saying different. But also the professional, full-time first-team professionals would try to help the youth team realise that it was food for fuel rather than enjoyment. So a lot of the youth players would like push their food around the plate, you know, like, oh, I don't like this, or I don't like this sauce, or, you know, so you had some pros that were just fantastic. They just got in, they ate really well. Everything they did was really good. So one who comes to mind was Paul Furlong, ex-pro, who played at QPR, Tottenham, I believe, and at Luton. And he used to come in every single morning, stretch. So he'd come into the little room that we had next to the physio room. He'd do his warm-up, his stretching, his core work, sometimes have a massage, eat a load of fruit in the morning, and then at lunchtime would eat all the food the chef would give out, a bit more fruit. And he would basically try to talk to lads, and he'd also do an afternoon stretching session as well. Now, he was the utter professional. Absolutely, he was fantastic, and hence why he had quite a long career as well. I think he probably retired in his early 40s, and I believe his sons are really good, and if he's taught them that, then fantastic. But yeah, the footballers would have quite a stringent regime, in a way that everything was available to be fined. Okay, so if they left anything on the training field, whether it be like a sports bottle or jacket or whatever, if they left it out there, then there'd be a note made and they would be fined. At the following, they called it kangaroo court, so at the end of the week they would fine them. But this was the same for weight as well. So I was always told, you know, I'd have to weigh them every single Monday. Every Monday, the footballers would come into my little physio room in just their pants, and I'd get onto the scales, or most of them wore just their pants, let's put it that way. Some of them came naked and it was all a bit, yeah, ha ha, funny, but yeah, it's a bit of a piss take. But it meant yeah, just a bit of camaraderie. But we'd measure the weight and then get like a pattern of how they're getting on, and it's quite funny because every 3 to 4 weeks I'd have to do the body fats. So using the Harpenter skin fold calipers at 4 to 6 different sites around the body, we would look at the subcutaneous fat, so how much fat they have in various areas, and then add it all together and get the fat percentage completely. Now, this range depended on where you played. So like a goalkeeper might have a little bit more fat than, say, a striker, because the keeper needs it obviously for padding, so that if they're going to go down and save, you know, they're going to want the extra protection, but also they're not aerobically going to be doing as much as, say, an outfield player. An outfield player can run anywhere between 8 and sort of 12 kilometres in a match. Goalkeeper isn't. So we'll do the body fats, we'll do the weights, and a couple of players, not going to name names, used to say to me, we'll pay you to change that person's weight or body fat. And it was normally one of the really eager players who was like 10% or 11% and always knew what he ate, how fit he was, you know, how much he weighed, I said that already. They would say, oh, I'll give you 300 quid to change it to 15%, or, you know, get him up to 80 kilos. And I thought, that is funny, morally wrong, but fucking funny. But no, I could have got sacked for that. So obviously didn't do that. But the camaraderie and the banter between them was hilarious, because it was like they compete at everything. They could compete at the dinner table, how quickly they could eat their yogurt, how much they could, or how quickly they could throw their kit in the laundry basket. They would have competitions from everything, and it was mad. So with the nutrition side of it, we had to be quite strict, and sometimes give sort of guidelines and give people goals as to where they're going wrong, or how they can change their diet, or how they can reduce their weight, or, you know, if they were like a midfield player and they were quite slight, what they needed to do, if they needed to build up their upper body and their core strength, you know. So we kind of helped give them guidelines. But one really key thing we had was a guy from Man City, a nutritionist. He came in. Now, he said probably one of the best things about nutrition, and I found this really helpful. He said, imagine you've got this tray with 3 cups on, three like glasses, and he said you've got a jug of like a 1 litre jug of juice, squash, whatever. He said if you pour that into the first cup, into the second cup, into the third cup, and you kept on pouring, where's that excess going to go? And he said, so that's your breakfast, your lunch and your dinner. Where's that excess going to go? It's going to go into the tray and then overspill. And he said that overspill is going to be the excess calories, and it will then ultimately be stored as fat if you don't burn it off. He then introduced 3 more cups. So you've got 6 cups. So you know, topped them up, first cup, second cup, third cup, fourth cup, fifth cup, and then just topped up enough to the 6th cup. So all the cups were full or almost full, and there's nothing left. So no excess calories, but it meant you're eating more frequently. Now, I know a lot of powerlifters, powerlifting weight trainers, they do this analogy. They have their like small Tupperware boxes with different foods in. But it means the metabolism of the body, the body's saying to itself, or the brain is saying, okay, I've got to keep metabolism high because I know soon this person's going to eat more. So if you eat less, you're going to store it. So if you have 1 meal a day, you're going to store more fuel, because you don't know when, your body doesn't know when it's going to get it next. Whereas if you're eating more frequently, it's got to keep the burners going, you know, it's going to have to keep burning off that fuel. So this was like really interesting concept. So for me, I thought this is really good, and providing those 6 meals, or if it's 3 meals and 3 healthy snacks in between, really help control the way you are with your body. Someone else asked me, how many calories should you have? Now, it totally depends on who you are, what your metabolism's like, how old you are, male, female, all of these things, activity levels. But rough rule of thumb, they say 1,800 to 2,000 calories for females per day, for just general everyday sort of movement and you know, breathing, just being alive. Okay, so any extra activity will require more calories. For men, it's normally 2,000 to 2,500 calories. But again, it totally depends on how big you are, how active you are. You know, some people wear, lots more now, people wear, what my American friend said, he wears a pedometer. And I was like, what's a pedometer? Oh, a pedometer. You know, so a lot of people now wear like Apple iWatches or Fitbit or things like that. So you can see how active you are during the day, and obviously adjust your food intake and your nutrition. If you want to lose weight, you've got to have a deficit each day. To lose 1 pound of weight per week, you have to have a deficit of 500 calories. Now, whether that be 500 calories less that you eat, or 500 calories more that you burn, or 250 of each, depends on how you want to do it. Or if you do 500 of each, then you're going to lose 2 pounds a week. And roughly 2 to 3 pounds a week is what you want to lose if you want to lose the weight, because any more is not going to be sustainable, and any less, it's just going to take a long time. Okay, so that's the rule of thumb, 500 calories. So if you look at an hour of cycling, again, remember, if you're going to look at it, look at your, whatever your computer is, whether it's a Garmin or Wahoo, look at it based on power, because otherwise, you know, it's really off, it's not correct. So roughly a good ride for an hour is probably around 400 calories. If there's efforts and things involved, it's going to be higher. And yeah, running's going to be more because you're moving more body parts and it's higher impact. And running for an hour is a lot harder than cycling for an hour. So yeah, look at the exercise, look at the intake, look at what you're eating, look at the snacks, give yourself a treat. Don't try to do too much. Like I've just had the whole of January with no cake, and then yesterday I had an amazing piece of cake out on my ride, and all the fig rolls I could possibly eat. Probably still got a little bit like on the creases of my mouth. I've just had a few. So yeah, that was really cool. Anything else? So yeah, so calories, and don't forget water. We said about water before. Yeah, general rule of thumb, 8 glasses of water a day. Now, how big are those glasses? Like this full or this big? This big. They have to be, I think it's around 2 to 2.5 litres of water a day. This is around 750, 800 mils. So you're looking at like 2.5 of these. And yeah, little and often. A sip every so often. And when you're on a ride, you've got to drink a lot more. Yeah, that's about it for now. I'm going to try and get another vlog out next week. Like I say, it's getting busier here. So if you are coming over, make sure you book up the relevant things you need. Airport transfers, don't leave it till you get to the airport because you'll get stung for a taxi. And a taxi from Palma in the sort of like south to the northeast can be between 80 and 100 euros. That's a lot of money if you can pre-book a transfer. And there's various ways of transfers. You can have by bus, by taxi, by pre-arranged firms, loads of different places. They range between somewhere in the region of 15 euros up to 80 euros, and depends if you bring your bike or not. So make sure you book your transfers when you book them, when you're booking your holiday, your flights. Make sure you've got the right accommodation and check that it's not too far away from everywhere else, and that it's got, you know, what time breakfasts are, because a lot of people want to get up and out early to do different rides, but realise that breakfast doesn't start till 8:30 or 9 o'clock. Now, if you want to get out early and get to the top of the Col de Reis for Sacalobra, you want to be getting there for way before like 9:30. So make sure you check these things. So food, transfers, sports massages. If you're over here, you know, come book a sports massage to keep you ticking over, to keep your legs fresh, keep that lower back that gets sore, keep that working well. And another one that's just come to me. So many people asked me. Yesterday I did a guided ride. I took a cool lady from Wales out and we went to the outdoor velodrome at Sinau. And so many people asked me, how much is it to go on it and when is it open? Well, if you want to bring your deposit to us here at OQ Service Course, we can give you a little ticket to get onto the velodrome, and it's open all year round. No, seriously, it's open all year round. It's free to roll on. There's actually an underpass now, so you can take your bike underneath the track to the track centre and get on and take a roll round. Just be careful, it's early morning, because on the right-hand side of the track is in the shade, or as a lot of my foreign friends like to say, in the shadow, and it can be quite slippy and quite wet. But it's great fun. If you've ever been on an indoor velodrome, it's not as steep, the banking, but it's great, and it's great for pictures, and the restaurant there is cool, so you can, you know, top up on water and stuff. But tip, don't go there to top up water. Go to a shop around the corner. It's about 65 cents a bottle. It's the ones with the big melons on outside. If you know it, yeah, it's just along the road, just on the bottom there. So yeah, track's really cool, open all year round. Yeah, one of my favourite places to ride to, because you've got the countryside lanes, and you can then from there you can add the mountains on if you want. You can come back flat, go by the coast, go in various different directions. So yeah, I'll try and get another one out next week. Send me your questions, press subscribe on this. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed so far. I've gone from 35 subscribers, followers, whatever you want to call them, to I think somewhere like 170. So really appreciate your support. Sorry this one's been a bit kind of all over the place. I'm just knackered. The other day I was supposed to do one, but someone came into the shop and I didn't leave the shop till 9 o'clock. By the time I wanted to do the vlog, it was like really late. I was mega hungry. I ran out of water as well. And I was trying to be kind, but try to get the person out of the shop so that I could get home. So yeah, so been trying to do a few, but it's just not been happening. So anyway, enough waffle. Take care. Hopefully the storm has passed over in England and Great Britain and spring is on its way. If not, book yourself to come over here and you'll have a brilliant time here.